Hola clase, hoy vamos a hablar de 6 consejos de aprendizaje de idiomas. Hey guys, today we're going to learn about 6 language learning tips. Pero primero, but first, tengo una pregunta. ¿Puedes conversar en español? ¿Sí? ¿No? ¿O más o menos? Bien, tengo otra pregunta. ¿Cómo te sientes cuando quieres decir algo en español y no sabes cómo decirlo? O cuando te dicen algo y no entiendes. ¿Te sientes bien o te sientes mal? ¿Cómo te sientes? ¿Frustrado o frustrada? ¿Enojado o enojada? ¿Molesto o molesta? ¿Triste? ¿Avergonzado o avergonzada? ¿Estúpido o estúpida? ¿Inútil? ¿Sin esperanza? ¿Con miedo? ¿Incómodo o incómoda? ¿Estresado o estresada? ¿Cómo te sientes? Está bien. Yo me sentí así muchas veces cuando estaba aprendiendo el español. No te preocupes si te sientes mal, porque es normal. Pero en esta clase vamos a tratar de superar esos sentimientos. Y así puedes aprender a hablar el español más efectivamente. Porque cuando te sientes mal, ¿qué es lo que haces? ¿Vuelves a hablar en inglés o simplemente evitas la conversación? Como esta bebé. Y entonces, nunca practicas el español. ¿Entiendes? En esta clase vas a aprender a conversar en español y a sentirte cómodo con lo incómodo. No te preocupes si hablas bien o no hablas bien el español. Por eso estás aquí. Es importante practicar hablando español. Si quieres hablar español. Suena obvio, pero es la verdad. Yo voy a ayudarles a hablar y entender el español. Pero ustedes tienen que practicar mucho. Así es. En esta clase vamos a practicar mucho. Si practicas mucho, 1. Vas a sacar una buena nota en esta clase. 2. Vas a poder hablar en español. Lo cual es lo más importante. Así es. A veces podemos hablar en inglés cuando yo necesito explicar algo más complicado o cuando tú necesitas preguntar algo más complicado. Podemos hablar en inglés. Como ahora. Vamos a hablar en inglés ahora. Question: How did you learn to speak English when you were a baby? I can guarantee you didn't write. I got out the textbooks and I started learning grammar lessons. That's not how we learn as children to speak a language. When we are babies, we learn language from our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents and our sisters and brothers and cousins and aunts and uncles and TV shows and movies and songs and all the language that is surrounding us. That's where we learn English from. And we learn that when we communicate back, we get things. We have social connection, or we get a cookie. When we communicate as a baby, we're starting with words, and then you learn that you can combine those single words together to make 2-word phrases, and then you learn that you can make longer, more complicated phrases, and the more complex your language is, the more things you get. We learn language by experiencing it from all sides, from all around us, and hearing it and practicing it. And you make mistakes, and your parents correct you, and your teachers correct you, but you never feel bad about those mistakes. You just correct them and move on. You learn from them. That's how you learn to speak when you were a baby. So I want to give you some language learning tips of how you can learn to speak Spanish utilizing the lessons we have from when we were a baby. The first one is to listen and repeat what you hear. So you are going to be hearing language, and this is why I've assigned the listening tasks and the media share, because I want you to hear the language and I want you to practice saying what you hear. So you rehearse it. If it's a phrase that you feel like maybe could be useful for you to say one day, you would want to practice it, rehearse it. If you want that to be accessible to you in the future, then say it out loud when you hear it. Practice saying it. Repeat what you hear. Sing songs. Listen and repeat. Number 2, speak and write. I put that in parentheses because you guys often write me emails. Speak and write only in Spanish. Commit to it. Commit to the language. Commit to this is the language that you are speaking. Even though I speak English, commit to speaking to me in Spanish, because it's a safe place for you to practice speaking the language and commit to only speaking and writing in Spanish. Number 3 is to use more than words to communicate. This is especially for when we are communicating face-to-face. When you are 2 years old and you don't know how to say to your mother that you want to get something that's on that top shelf, you want to get that down, you bring your mother over there and you point to show her what it is that you want. You can use your facial expressions to indicate what you're trying to say. You can use body language. Use more than words to communicate. Number 4, make mistakes because that's how you learn. When you are learning a language, you are going to make mistakes. It's inevitable. When you try to strive for perfection and you feel like that you can only speak when you are going to get that sentence out with 100% accuracy, that's when you paralyze your learning. You have to be able to be comfortable with making mistakes, even though it makes you feel stressed out, even though it makes you feel uncomfortable. You have to be okay with those mistakes and know that it's part of learning. Yes, we're trying to get better, and yes, I'm your teacher and I will correct you on those mistakes because I want you to learn from them. But that doesn't mean you should try to avoid mistakes at all costs. Make mistakes because that's how you learn. Number 5, be patient with your progress and the process. There was the famous experiment done in 1972 at Stanford University where they set the marshmallow in front of the children and they told the kid, if you can wait 15 minutes to eat this marshmallow, you'll get a second marshmallow. And they followed those kids, and the kids that were able to wait to eat those marshmallows were much happier and more stable in their lives and their careers and their family lives. And that's because it's a trait of being able to delay gratification. And that's what language acquisition is all about. Being able to be patient with the process. It takes a long time to learn a language. Think of how long it has taken you to master the English language. Even from the time when you were a baby to the time that you're 5 years old, yes, you can speak and have actual conversations. But is the language of a 5-year-old as in-depth as the language that you speak now as a 15-year-old? No, it's not. And that's with you speaking that language all the time, every day, with everyone that you meet. So even if you've been taking language since kindergarten, you've not had the same exposure because maybe it's been once a week or twice a week, and it's an hour at a time, and you've not had the complete exposure. So it's going to take a long time. Well, and this is why I've implemented all the daily things and the weekly things that you do. You have to be patient with that process, because it takes time. You have to put in the practice hours. And then you need to be patient with your own progress because it takes some people more time than others. And that's okay. Be patient. Number 6, have an open mind. This one is very important because if you have an open mind to learning a language or to learning anything for that matter, you can learn. The moment you close your mind and say, this is pointless, this is useless, I have no need for this in my life, then you've closed off that learning door. Open your mind. Say to yourself, I can learn Spanish and this will help me one day. Having that open mind makes all of the difference. So, in summary, 6 language learning tips. 1, listen and repeat. 2, speak only in Spanish. 3, use more than words. 4, make mistakes. 5, be patient. 6, have an open mind. This is in English now. It'll be in Spanish later. So remember. Ya se acabó la hora de inglés. Ya es hora de español. Entonces, mis consejos para mis estudiantes son: escuchen y repitan lo que oigan. Número 2, hablen y escriban en español. Número 3, usen más que palabras para comunicar. Número 4, hagan errores porque así se aprende. Número 5, sean pacientes con su progreso y el proceso. Número 6, tengan la mente abierta. Entonces, mis estudiantes pueden decir la declaración de yo puedo. Yo puedo escuchar y repetir. Yo puedo hablar en español. Yo puedo usar más que palabras. Yo puedo hacer errores. Yo puedo ser paciente. Yo puedo tener la mente abierta. ¿Te parece fácil o difícil? ¿Fácil o difícil? ¿O más o menos? Quiero saber. Gracias por participar en esta discusión. Gracias y hasta luego.